Hello everyone. Today I wish to talk about the current crossroad in India's undersea strike capability. So the discussion will point around the Kalibr cruise missile. Question of arming our conventional submarine fleet with foreign origin cruise missiles and its interplay with our own indigenous missile development ambition. So we all know that in recent times Russia President Putin has come to India for some discussions and some meetings with Prime Minister Modi. So there is also ongoing talk or media buzz about the India equipping Kalibr cruise missile for its Sindhughosh-class submarine, which is also Kilo-class submarine, and it could be launched from the torpedo tubes. So the Kalibr cruise missile is an efficient missile with 1500-kilometer range, and it is a subsonic cruise missile. So I would switch to the infographics for this. I'm using Gemini Pro for the infographics, and yes, from the future videos, I would try to build my own website for these things for the video making. So the Kalibr and the future. For decades, the backbone of India's diesel-electric submarine force has been the Kilo-class submarines. As we look at evolving threats in the Indian Ocean region and as near-peer adversaries expand their maritime footprint, it becomes imperative that our submarines are more just than torpedo platforms. They must have long-range strike capability, flexibility, deterrence, and credible undersea firepower. Our Navy also lacks submarine right now. We have some newer Scorpion class submarines and older Sindhughosh-class submarines. Sindhughosh is very much older, and there are some problems in it also. So increasing the submarine fleet is not very much easy for India right now. The Navy chief mentioned that India at any point of time needs 24 submarines to counter both China and Pakistan. But today India has only 13 or 14 conventional submarines, and one or two SSK submarines. So the threats are evolving. Our anti-submarine warfare is good, but we also need submarines for doing some operation and doing some stealth task. That is why the discussion around Kalibr has resurfaced. The Kalibr, switching to next. Okay, so I have provided the strategic context. The threat is Indian Ocean region. Indian Navy is sole protector of Indian Ocean region. It is becoming highly contested zone with Chinese naval fleet, and India don't have very much capabilities beyond standard torpedo tubes. Switching to the next one. Okay, now the main question the main question arises: the Caliber or its submarine launch capable export variant offers a versatile cruise missile option, anti-ship capability, and potentially land attack reach. Accepting such missiles for our Kilo class submarine would provide an immediate proven both proven boost to our strike portfolio, giving the Indian Navy a ready tool for sea denial, power projection, and strategic deterrence, while newer platform and missiles are still years away. And but at the same time, India is also building its own Nirbhay missile class. So I will discuss this point later. Now we should come into why consider Caliber now. So there is an immediate operational gap. Interim solution is bridging the gap using P-75I submarines, but it is also late, and DRDO is also planning the retrofitting the current Scorpion class submarines with the AIP system, air independent propulsion system, for for more sustained operations. And Caliber is also have integration with existing Kilo class fleet. It could be easily integrated with it. And for the geopolitics with Russia, as we are going to buy additional S-400 squadrons, so Caliber cruise missile is also under discussion. India's homegrown missile system is also going very much good. While we have BrahMos, a supersonic cruise missile, we are also building Nirbhay, which is subsonic cruise missile for higher ranges. It is a long-range subsonic cruise missile developed by our own DRDO. It is critical to that vision. Nirbhay capable of striking land targets over 800 to 1000 km. Yes, range is lesser than Kalibr, but it has much potential. It was conceived to deliver precision strike capability without relying on foreign supply chains. Ordnance is very much needed in Atmanirbhar category. The ambition does not stop there. DRDO is now developing a submarine launch cruise missile variant based on the Nirbhay system, a system intended for launch from standard 533 mm torpedo tubes with reported projected range between 1000 and 1500 km. According to official disclosures, this new submarine launch cruise missile SLCM, the indigenously developed undersea missile, has already undergone tests including a 402 km underwater launch test in 2023. More recently, in 2024, the program reportedly completed full range missions that strengthen India's underwater strike capability. So we find ourselves at a strategic inflection point, and the question we must ask ourselves is, do we opt for foreign source solution like Kalibr to plug capability gaps today, or we double down on indigenous development, accepting delays but achieving long-term strategic autonomy? So we could get into a dual approach. I would get into the dual approach for this. Okay. One hand is acquiring proven system like Kalibr for existing submarine offers immediate immediate enhancement of our undersea deterrence and strike capability, especially vital because our new submarines under procurement projects may take years to be operational. On the other hand is continuing to invest in and refine domestic solution based on Nirbhay, even if it require more time, ensure that India is not permanently dependent on foreign supply, spares or geopolitical sensitive defense relationships. Challenge remains obvious for this, and there are engineering hurdles if we go for domestic production. Okay, the question is, why is not the indigenous SLCM deployed yet? Canisterization. It is one of the most difficult tasks in our engineering, that is canisterization of a missile. Fitting a long range cruise missile into 533 mm tube requires extreme miniaturization, and also Nirbhay class is around 1.5 ton. Guidance and transitioning from underwater to air require complex navigational redundancy, and stealth protocols for this is also going to be an operational hurdle. So our strategic debate lies here is, either we should procure Kalibr cruise missile, which is combat proven immediate deployment native to Kilo class, or indigenous SLCM, which will provide us Atmanirbharta, strategic autonomy, make in India, tailored for Indian Navy, and it could be retrofitted into our Kilo class also, Sindhughosh class also, and future submarine fleet of P-76. Risk of Kalibr is sanctions and supply chain. As Russia is sanctioned, Katsa risk also become obvious, and indigenous is development and deployment delays. Testing also takes much time. So I have also discussed the middle part. Like, we in the short term buy some Kalibr for force multiplier, and for long term consider Nirbhay or SLCM cruise missile for the future deployments of the Indian Navy. Strategic logic stands bridging capability gaps in the near term with proven solution while preserving the push for self-reliance in the long term. So the conclusion lies for me is, equipping our Kilo class submarine with Kalibr, if done responsibly, can serve as an interim force multiplier. Meanwhile, nurturing and accelerating development of the Nirbhay based submarine launched cruise missile gives India the indigenous strike backbone it needs for decades to come. That is balanced hybrid path combining immediacy with autonomy is not just practical, it is prudent, It ensures the Indian Navy remains powerful today without compromising our strategic independence tomorrow. So, this was my approach, this was my viewpoint for this topic. Thank you. And I will provide all the references of IDRW and other defense websites below in the description. And you can see the image of Nirbhay cruise missile. Okay. Thank you.